What's up? How you doing? It's Sean from the B Minus Show. I'm not sure if my microphone's working on here or not. Let me see. Maybe it is working on here. Let me see if that works. Yeah. I'm not sure if this works or not. I got a couple beers from Civil Society. My Florida beer hookup hooked me up. Once again, hopefully you could hear this. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use the microphone or if it's just picking it up on my computer. I got my heater going on right under me, so it's 50 degrees in here. So I'm not gonna lie, I need some warmth. Okay, I'm not cool with that super cold stuff. I also don't like being too hot, but it's pretty cold in here. Anyways, like 2 beers from Civil Society. This first one, they're out of Florida, so Florida. This one's called Cashmere Bliss. It's a double IPA. It's 8.8% alcohol by volume. This next one is called Bolos and Polos, 9.5% alcohol from the same brewery, except they did a collaboration with Outer Range. I'm not sure where Outer Range is, but it's another brewery. It's collaboration. So Cashmere Bliss is going to be a single hopped beer, even though there's no information. Usually when they name the hop on the can, Cashmere Bliss, Citra Dream, Equinox, Ether, whatever, that means that they probably just use that hop or primarily use that hop. So it gives you an opportunity to really get familiar with a certain hop if you care about that stuff. Now, I had this beer earlier on my podcast, b-show.com. Look for the free download there. Different podcast than this. This is just like me going live on YouTube, just doing extra stuff. But you can see the color. It looks like an IPA. Let's give it a taste, though. This other one's better, though. But I'm just tasting with you. Yeah, it almost has a waxy taste to it, but it's not bad. I'm not going to say it's great. I can't taste any booze. It's almost like a hazy IPA, but it's it's slightly juicy with a round mouthfeel, but it's not super juicy. It's not super yeasty. It's just kind of like, it's all right. Okay. But I really wanted to talk about this beer. This Bolos and Polos. This is a 9.5%er. Okay. So this is a heavy guy. I'm drinking out of a Teku glass, or Teku glass is Teku. This is like kind of the cool glass right now for IPAs and whatnot. My wife got it for me. Thank you, wife. You could see the color here, though. Let me just put this camera down a little bit, man. It's kind of like a orangish, probably 7-8 on the SRM scale. First thing you want to do is pour the beer out, pour it properly so it's not too carbonated. As you can see, it's poured pretty well. Look at it. You can see it's pretty hazy. Can't see through it. A little orange. Give it a smell. Very, very fruity. There's very tropical notes to this. There's a little bit of a bubblegum smell to it as well. So it smells very juicy, very tropical, and a little bubblegum going on there. And I really like this beer. But let me taste it here with you. Describe it. It's almost exactly how I described the taste, which is a wonderful thing. When you're drinking a beer, if it smells fantastic, right? Or it's almost like if the can looks fantastic, there's cool art on it, or it smells great, and then you taste it and it doesn't even match that, right? You're just kind of disappointed. Kind of like I just said, if the can art has really cool, flashy colors, and you're just like, that is a very cool looking can, and you drink it, or it doesn't smell good, it doesn't taste good, you're like, dude, that's like false advertising, man. You're just like, something shiny right there, but you're not, the product doesn't deliver. So it just looks pretty, it looks cool, you caught my eye, your marketing worked. But I think it's more important what's inside the can, because that's what you're buying. I mean, you could buy the marketing or you could buy the product. What do you want to buy, right? I would rather buy the product, like how it works for me. And in this case, this is a very kind of like normal label. It smells good, and the smell matches the taste. It sucks when the smell does not match the taste. It smells floral, fruity, and then you taste it and you're like, dude, that's like bland. It tastes nasty. Or I would rather be pleasantly surprised, to be honest. Crappy can. So there's multiple scenarios, 3x3. You want to go stats. There's 9 different variations that could go on here. You have an ugly can, and the beer does not smell or look good. So there's another variable that's 16, 4 times 4. But then you taste the beer and you're like, that tastes phenomenal. At the end of the day, the beer has to taste good. The smell is a bonus, right? That could like really set your senses up. And then the next factor would be how the beer looks. So yeah, I like this beer. Bubblegum flavor, tropical, fruity, juicy, pretty good mouthfeel, meaning it's kind of pillowy, but not over the top, and not overly hoppy, not overly yeasty, just kind of balanced right. And it's 9.5% alcohol. So for those of you who don't know, that's a pretty high alcohol beer. A Bud Light is like what, 4%? Coors Banquet beer is like 5.5%. And that's like the heavy domestic beer alcohol, right? That's like the highest, unless you get into like St. Ides or like OE, which is like 8%, right? But it just doesn't taste right. It's just very charcoal, like Steel Reserve. That stuff's like, so what I heard about those beers, those malt liquors, is it's spent grain. So they take all the grain they use for like the Budweiser, for example, the grain that they filtered all the sugar out, they reuse that grain and make a wort or make a sugar water out of the reused grain, right? And they do that over and over and condense it. They probably boil it down and get it to a high ABV. So that's essentially what you're buying. And there's traditional brewing methods that actually you could use the second grain. So if you're doing like making a very heavy beer, like a 10%er, you could reuse the grain and make like a 4%er, make like a lager or something like that, or like a sessionable pale ale. But anyways, I'm going way off topic. This beer right here is pretty damn good. Bolos Polos from Civil Society, collaboration with Outer Range Brewing Company. Very fruity, juicy, tropical. Next time I come on here, I will bring a different beer because I always drink these triple IPAs on here. And that's just what I like. That's my preference. But I do have some like really cool stouts. I have like other beers that I'll bring on. I'll start buying some other stuff too. I've had them all. These are just what I'm into and what I've been into for a while. But it's just nice to mix it up, and maybe I could give you a little different perspective on what to look for in certain beers. But yeah, B- Show. Thank you very much. Check out b-show.com. Follow me on Instagram at B- Show or on TikTok. But most of my beer stuff is on Instagram at B- Show. And I'll try to post here on YouTube. It's not always like the most fun thing for me to do because I usually do a podcast, and you can find my podcast at B- Show. And then I decide if I want to make music or do this. And that's what I'm doing right now. Now I'm going to make music. All right. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I hope you learned something. Stay positive. Stay happy. Do what makes you happy. Do what fulfills you. Find your purpose. All right. Enough of that. I'm out.